Ow!
You know, Harrison Ford had a great story when he was a contract player, how they kept wanting to change his image and mold his image, change his name, his hairstyle. When you were a contract player, what kind of advice or image making did you resist that they wanted to do on you?
Well, no, it was the other way around for me, because they would have meetings, I found out, secret meetings actually, to try to discuss what ways that they could come up with to get rid of me. And they used to call me, the bow-legged actor. They weren't treating me with respect.
Tammy and the Bachelor, what kind of reactions after that movie came out did you get from people?
The movie, they pulled the movie back because of the song, which then became a big hit, and then they re-released it, and the movie became a big hit. And so, being in a successful movie, I didn't know how important that was at that time. There's so many things I didn't know about anyway. I still don't. And but I wasn't particularly pleased with my work. I didn't think, I wanted to do Hamlet. I didn't want to do Bachelor and Tammy. I had more important things to do. Ho, ho, ho. Thank God I got over that. And so I didn't pay attention. If somebody would congratulate me on it, I'd say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd pass it by because I knew it wasn't that good. At least that's how I felt. And it was good. I see it now, and it really came out beautifully. It worked well. Just shows you what this can do to you.
Leslie, I've always been a big fan of the Irwin Allen big-budget spectacles. Now, you were at the helm of the ill-fated Poseidon cruise ship.
Here, here.
Yeah. Now, what do you remember of shooting that movie?
Well, I think it was a marvelous entertainment movie. But to be on the set, to go around and see how everything had been designed, and then to go to the set where the ship has been turned over, and there you are, and you're walking on the ceiling. And that's where you're standing, and you look up and you see the chairs and the stools and everything hanging from what was now the ceiling in the studio. And to see how they put those things together and achieve, the effect was just wonderful.
Yep.
It was a thoroughly entertaining film. I often get asked about the picture because of the one line that I did, which was ad lib, where you see the water coming in.
Yep.
And I say, my line is, "Oh my God." And many people have talked to me about that line. Why, I don't know. I don't know why there are things that we pick out in movies that we see. So we use the line in Naked Gun 33 1/3. And there have been times when Charlton Heston has used the line too. So, I do my imitation of my character, my fun imitation of Charlton, when I think that the thing they're going to open is the envelope with the bomb in it. And it's the Best Picture Award or whatever. And they say what is that? And they said, the Best Picture Award. And I said, oh my God. Then I run out. So that came from Poseidon Adventure.
I interviewed Robert Stack not too long ago, and we talked about the first airplane film.
Yeah.
And he said he was pretty reluctant to do it at first. Were you surprised when the Zuckers approached you about being in that movie?
No, I had always had the secret yearning to do comedy, and I had kept it secret from everybody, but I really felt that David and Jerry and Jim had discovered that I was being secretive about this, and they had penetrated the disguise, and that's why it came to me. But no, I was yearning to do comedy. It's interesting that, because, it's fascinating, because Robert is a friend of mine, and he's wonderfully funny. He's bonkers. Robert is really wacko. He's worse than I am, I think. So the idea, well, even Peter had a slight reluctance because of the flatulence in the cockpit seat when I describe what happens when you eat the fish. And we all have those things that are at work. And of course, the more you do Naked Gun humor and do this kind of comedy, the more you realize how totally unimportant those considerations are or were.
When people quote lines to you from movies, when they come up to you, what kind of lines do they quote to you?
Well, the main thing is from Airplane. They say, "Hey, Shirley, hey, don't call me Shirley, ha ha ha." And then another one they quote from the same picture is, "Good luck, we're all counting on you." It's funny how those things, and now from one of the Naked Guns, in the 2.5, when I was swimming in the sewage and they catch me, I fall through the roof, the dog chases me, I fall through the skylight. But I'm trying to give the word to the guys that are waiting outside. I love it.
I love it, you know. So they're using that too.
You're pretty famous for the whoopee cushion that.
What do you mean by that? I was young and needed the money. It had nothing to do with me.
Now, didn't you get a chance to use it one time in with Prince Rainier?
Yes, I did. I was over at a charity golf tournament, and I was riding in the golf cart with the Prince, and the promoter, Wendell Niles, had naturally come up seeking to find out how the Prince was. He's the main, he's our host, and he had the entourage following him too, maybe a dozen people. And he said, Leslie, he said, isn't this really a wonderful tournament and a day? I said, Wendell, to ride here with His Serene Highness like this and to see the beauty of this golf course, looking down there at the white caps in the Mediterranean, up here the fir trees and the flowers and the sides of the fairways and the green of the fairways, and it's such a beautiful, glorious sunny day with those little white clouds there. He says, it's so moving to me. I can't describe the emotion that I feel. Well, the Prince goes, "Blah!" like this, and he started to laugh. And then his security man, Lumkowski is his name, he was laughing. And before the end of the day, the Prince asked me for one. And Lumkowski said to me, I've never seen the Prince laugh so hard in 25 years. He says, 20, yeah.
Sorry, and one very quick question. The Ayatollah scene in the first film, I just saw it again recently. I couldn't stop laughing. But when you did it, were you a little worried that...
We made, considerations, because, they cut the scene out in the Philippines, and it was taken out of the movie houses in Turkey because there was a diplomatic meeting between the Turkish ambassador and someone in Iran, and it was a condition that they take that movie out of the theater. So you can't tell who was going to decide that it was insulting and that you were responsible and present you with a bingo, It could happen. So it was a consideration. Fortunately, nothing happened.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.